2002, a freshman phenom stepped onto the court and became the next big thing in college basketball. With his smooth jumper, unshakable confidence, and an undeniable will to win, Carmelo Anthony led the Syracuse Orange on a magical ride to the NCAA championship. But this wasn't just a championship run, it was a journey that redefined college basketball history, and from dominating performances to unforgettable moments under the brightest lights, Melo's one-and-done season became the stuff of legends. So, how did a young kid from Baltimore take Syracuse to the promised land in just one season? And what made this run so iconic? Let's jump in. Carmelo Anthony arrived at Syracuse University as one of the most highly anticipated recruits in the country. A standout at Oak Hill Academy, Anthony was a consensus 5-star recruit and a top player in his class. Carmelo Anthony's senior season was nothing short of spectacular, as he averaged 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, while leading Oak Hill to a remarkable 32-1 record. Carmelo also led Oak Hill to a victory in the Nike Academy National Invitational, where he was named the tournament MVP. His ability to score from all areas on the court set him apart. Whether it was his mid-range jumpers, powerful drives to the basket, or three-point shooting, Anthony was virtually unstoppable. Standing at 6'8" with a silky smooth scoring touch, Melo had the skills and confidence to dominate at the college level. Now, despite offers from powerhouses like North Carolina and Kansas, Anthony chose Syracuse. But why? One of the most significant factors in Anthony's decision was his connection with Syracuse head coach Jim Boeheim. His reputation for developing players and no-nonsense personality resonated with Carmelo. He also made it clear that Anthony would play a crucial role on the team from day one, which was an appealing pitch for highly touted players. And at Syracuse, Anthony was guaranteed an opportunity to showcase his talents right away. The Orange needed a versatile scorer and playmaker, and Carmelo's game fit perfectly with their system. The location for Syracuse in upstate New York was another factor. While it wasn't directly in Baltimore, which was Anthony's hometown, it was closer to home compared to other programs recruiting him, allowing his family to watch him play more easily. Carmelo saw an opportunity to leave a lasting legacy at Syracuse, and he was aware that Syracuse hadn't won a national championship yet, and the chance to lead the team to its first title was a challenge that motivated him. Other schools recruiting him, such as North Carolina or Kansas, already had rich championship histories, making Syracuse a more unique choice for creating a lasting impact. But it wasn't all sunshine and roses for Anthony, as he entered Syracuse, one of the most highly anticipated freshmen in the country, and this status came with sky-high expectations from fans, media, and his team. Every game, practice, and performance was scrutinized, and Anthony had to prove himself worthy of the hype. The constant attention could have been overwhelming, but he embraced the pressure, using it as motivation to elevate his game. Despite the immense pressure and scrutiny, Anthony's resilience to focus allowed him to shine on the court. Carmelo Anthony's regular season at Syracuse was nothing short of phenomenal, and as a true freshman, Anthony established himself as one of the most dominating players in college basketball, leading the Orange to a 24-5 regular season record and setting the stage for their historic NCAA tournament run. Melo also averaged 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 2.2 assists per game during the regular season, while shooting 45.3% from the field. Whether it was his lethal mid-range jumper, his ability to finish in traffic, or his dominance on the board, Anthony was nearly unstoppable. And before we continue with Melo's debut game, I'm currently at 685 subscribers and have a goal to reach 750 by the end of January. So if you could take a second to hit that subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. Now back to the video. Melo's debut game for Syracuse was on November 14, 2002 against the Memphis Tigers at Madison Square Garden. Anthony's performance not only lived up to the immense hype surrounding him, but he also showcased the poise and talent that would define his freshman season. Syracuse ultimately lost the game, but Anthony's debut was a clear sign of superstar potential. Melo went off for 27 points, 11 rebounds, and he shot a respectable 11 for 22 from the field and knocked down 3 out of his 5 3-point attempts. This debut set the stage for the most remarkable freshman season in NCAA history. While the loss was disappointing, Anthony's individual brilliance provided a glimpse of what to come for both Syracuse and for his future NBA career. And just 12 days later, Melo had another spectacular performance versus Albany, and his offensive brilliance was on full display once again as he scored 27 points with remarkable efficiency, converting 12 out of 22 field goal attempts. And his scoring arsenal included mid-range jumpers, drive for the baskets, and fast break finishes. And this game helped Syracuse build momentum as they worked towards becoming a cohesive unit, and Anthony's performance set the standard for what the team could achieve with him leading the way. While the opponent wasn't a powerhouse, Anthony's efforts and executions that demonstrate his consistency and readiness to dominate at the collegiate level. This game became another step in his journey towards leading Syracuse to a historic run. Melo's next key matchup was versus the Texas Longhorns, which was one of the most standout moments of his legendary freshman season at Syracuse. Playing in the Jimmy V Classic at Madison Square Garden, Anthony rose to the occasion in the marquee matchup against a highly ranked opponent, and after multiple clutch buckets by Melo, Syracuse pulled out the win in a thrilling fashion with a final score being 95-90. While leading Syracuse to victory, Melo tallied 30 points and 11 rebounds. This performance cemented Anthony as a national star, facing a top 10 Texas team led by TJ Ford and the reigning Naismith Award winner. Anthony outshined all of the other players on the court. This game wasn't just a regular season win. It was a statement that Anthony and Syracuse were legitimate contenders, with one of the best players in the country leading the charge. But the best was yet to come for Melo, as on February 10th, he scored a career high of 35 points with incredible efficiency with a field goal of 63% versus West Virginia. Melo's performance was a defining moment in his freshman season, and his ability to dominate offensively, control the boards, and lead his team to victory highlighted the qualities that made him a collegiate star. In this game was a perfect example of Anthony's blend of skill, physicality, and basketball IQ, further cementing his place as one of the greatest freshmen in college basketball history. And to cap off the regular season, on March 1st, Syracuse faced one of their toughest opponents yet, Georgetown, a rivalry dating back to the 1980s. Heading into this game, Syracuse was fighting to solidify the position in the Big East standings, and with March Madness right around the corner, every win mattered. Melo dropped 29 points and grabbed 8 rebounds and dished out 4 assists, and he did it efficiency as well, shooting 50% from the field and hitting 3 out of his 5 3-point attempts, and he was also clutch from the free throw line, going 6 for 8. Thanks to Melo's dominance, Syracuse secured a crucial 93-84 win over their rival, and the victory kept them in the hunt for the Big East supremacy and boosted their confidence heading into March Madness. And for Melo, this game was another example on why he's already been talked about as one of the best college players in the country, even as a freshman. And the March Madness tournament is where Carmelo Anthony's legacy truly took flight. Syracuse entered the tournament as a strong contender, but no one could have predicted just how dominant Melo would be. And going into a key matchup versus Auburn in the Sweet 16 game in the March Madness tournament, Syracuse entered as the number 3 seed in the East region, while Auburn, led by Marcus Daniels, was a scrappy number 10 seed looking to pull off another upset. The game was a nail-biter from start to finish, with both teams trading leads and momentum swings. Carmelo Anthony led Syracuse to 22 points, shooting efficiently from the field despite Auburn's physical defense, and his ability to score in a variety of ways, mid-range jumpers, 3-point shooting, and drives to baskets, kept the Tigers' defense off balance. Anthony's knack for creating his own shot in critical moments stood out as he repeatedly answered Auburn's runs with key baskets. Anthony also contributed on the glass, grabbing 10 rebounds to secure a double-double. His effect on the boards helped Syracuse maintain possessions and limited Auburn's second chance opportunities, and his physicality and willingness to battle in the paint highlighted his versatility as a forward. This game was tightly contested throughout, and with Auburn making several late game pushes to close the gap, Anthony's composure and decision-making were vital in Syracuse's ability to hold off the Tigers. He hit crucial free throws down the stretch to advance to the Elite Eight and play with poise of a seasoned veteran despite only being a freshman. Carmelo Anthony's performance in the Elite Eight game against the Oklahoma Sooners was one of the defining moments in Syracuse's runs to the national championship. Matched against the number 1 seed, Anthony delivered a brilliant all-around performance to lead the Orange to a convincing 63-47 victory. Anthony was unstoppable offensively, pouring in a game-high 20 points. Once again, he showcased his full arsenal of the offensive skills, hitting mid-range jumpers, knocking down 3-pointers, and scoring on crafty drives to the basket. And his ability to create his own shot against a tough Oklahoma defense was crucial, as Syracuse leaned in on him to generate offense throughout the game. And on the defensive end, Anthony held his own against Oklahoma's forwards, using his size and agility to contest drops and disrupt passing lanes. His ability to contribute defensively added to the overall impact and helped Syracuse beat the Sooners, who were struggling to find a rhythm throughout the game. And the win over Oklahoma sent Syracuse to the Final Four, marking the program's first appearance since 1996. Melo's dominant performance against the number 1 seed underscored his status as a leader of the Orange and transcendent talent. His poise, versatility, and ability to rise to the occasion made him a standout player of the game and key reason to Syracuse's success. Melo's performance in the Final Four game against the Texas Longhorns was a masterpiece that highlighted his brilliance as a player. Facing another number 1 seeded Longhorns, Anthony delivered another career-defining performance, leading the Orange to a 95-84 victory in the first NCAA championship game appearance since 1987. Anthony erupted for 33 points, the most ever scored by a freshman in the Final Four game, and Anthony's ability to score in isolation as well as within the Syracuse's offensive sets kept the Texas defense scrambling throughout the game. In addition to his scoring, Anthony controlled the glass, pouring down 14 rebounds to secure another double-double, and his efforts on the boards were crucial in a fast-paced game, as Syracuse needed every extra possession to match Texas' high-octane offense. When Texas made a run in the second half to cut into Syracuse's lead, Anthony responded with timely baskets and rebounds to stem the tide. His poise under pressure, rare for a freshman, was evident as he calmly took over the game during crucial stretches. And the win over Texas sent Syracuse to the national championship game, where they faced Kansas. Anthony's performance is widely regarded as one of the greatest individual efforts in Final Four history. Melo's performance in the 2003 NCAA championship game against Kansas was the crowning moment of his historical freshman season. In front of a packed crowd at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans, Anthony led the Syracuse Orange to an 81-78 victory over the Kansas Jayhawks, securing the first national title in program history. Anthony scored 20 points on 7 of 16 shooting, using his trademark versatility to exploit matchups against the Kansas defense. He did the bulk of his scoring from mid-range and connected on one three-pointer and used his strength and footwork to finish in the paint. Despite facing double teams for much of the game, Anthony's ability to create his own shot and convert in crucial moments was key to Syracuse's offensive success. Anthony also contributed 7 assists, showcasing his unselfish play and ability to elevate his teammates. Anthony's playmaking ensured Syracuse maintained offensive balance and rhythm throughout the game. And when Kansas mounted a furious comeback in the second half, cutting a 12-point deficit to just 3 in the final minutes, Anthony's calm demeanor and leadership kept Syracuse composed. Although he did not score in the final stretch, his presence on the floor commanded attention and created opportunities for teammates to step up. The victory gave Syracuse his first ever NCAA championship and cemented Anthony's place as a program legend. His one-and-done season redefined the impact a freshman could have on college basketball and inspired future generations of players who aimed for similar success. Anthony's performance in the championship game capped off one of the most remarkable freshman seasons in NCAA history, and Anthony was also named the most outstanding player of the tournament, becoming the first freshman to earn this honor since 1986. His impact went beyond the court. Melo put Syracuse basketball on the map, inspiring a new generation of players and fans, and even today, his freshman season is remembered as one of the greatest individual campaigns in college basketball history. But he wasn't done yet. After the championship, Melo declared for the 2003 NBA draft, where he was selected 3rd overall by the Denver Nuggets, where he would go on to achieve incredible success in the NBA, including multiple All-Star selections and Olympic gold medalists, and his time at Syracuse remains one of the most defining moments of his career.